Hello, everyone. It's such a joy to join you all tonight at the very first episode of Risk to Reward series. I want to announce that I'm live on my YouTube channel. So if you want to go right there on my YouTube channel, it's Sumbo Adeoye. And please help me share this stream with all your friends and family. I already have my guest is backstage here, and I want to let you know that tonight is going to be one inspiring stream that you have ever tuned into. I congratulate everyone who is connected tonight. Shout out to everyone joining from out of Nigeria. I mean, those in Australia, this is like early morning. Shout out to you all. I celebrate you for investing this time to join us in the Risk to Reward series. My name is Sumbo Adeoye, and I'm the host tonight of the Risk to Reward series. Some of the Inspiring Change tribe started about over, let's say, 10 years now, and I can't even imagine how 10 years has flown by, but I see the visible results in the life of everyone that has been in the tribe, and our community is flourishing. I'm not the same person, that started the Inspiring Change initiative over 9 years ago. A lot of things have changed. We've seen several amazing results of everyone that is in that community, and I want to encourage you to join the community of Aya Flyers. I see everyone connected to me on Instagram. I want to encourage you to also join me on my YouTube channel so that we can have this lovely stream with an uninterrupted internet access. I welcome you all, my Instagram followers. My name is Sumbadio, like I rightly said, and of course, everyone that is connected on YouTube. I'm going to be bringing in my guest. My guest is no other than the foremost teens coach, Opeyemi Ogunyomi. I mean, Opeyemi has done quite a number of great and amazing feats in his career. I want him to tell us his story, how he took a risk and how he's been able to see the result, or should I say the reward. Today's topic is the power of delayed gratification. Listen, a lot of young people these days are just in a hurry. They just want to make money. Everybody just want to make fast money. But Mr. Kwe did something, or should I call him Uncle Kwe? That's his brand name. If you're not following him by now, you have teenagers, you're a parent who want your teenagers to be great. You need to go follow him at the Uncle Kwe on Instagram and everywhere, social media. Uncle Kwe took a decision several years ago as a young graduate. He's going to be telling us those risky decisions that he took, why he took them, and where that decision has led him tonight. Please help me celebrate my guest, Opeyemi Ogunyomi. Ooh, it's so nice to have you here. If you're not on Facebook,
Oh my
not
God.
on YouTube, you are missing. You can only hear his voice, but I would encourage you to please make sure that you're also streaming on my YouTube channel. My YouTube page is at Sumbo Adeoye. Okay, you will find me right there. So welcome, Uncle
Thank
Kwe,
you, ma'am.
to Risk to Reward series episode 1. It's such a joy to have you here. Thank you for investing your precious time to come and
Thank you so
share your
much, ma'am.
story with all of us. I'm
It's a
big on
privilege.
inspiring other people to fulfill their purpose, and I know that you too would love to share the behind the scene, those ones that people don't know. They just see
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Okwe, foremost things coach, pioneering a conference of a lot of teenagers. They're gathering, there's an overflow, and they're wondering how did he get here? For the next 10 to 15 minutes, Uncle Kwe, you have the stage. Tell us, how did you get here? What decisions did you make? Did you have to take? What was the inspiration behind you deciding to take a risk to reward series?
Um, I think
It's good to take a roll call. Thank you all for investing your time. I see all the inspiring changes. Shout out to you all. Thank you for joining on Instagram. You are all welcome. Yes.
Right.
If Uncle Pe can hear me, please go
Yeah, I
right
can hear you
ahead.
now. I can hear you now. All right. So thank you so much, Ma, for this
Yes.
awesome privilege to share my story. Like it's popularly said that behind every glory there's a story. All right. Nobody just gets to the top by
Yes.
coincidence or by happenstance or circumstance. All right. It's an
Mm-hmm.
intentional decision, an
Exactly. Nobody
intentional
gets to
step,
the top by
deliberate. Yes. So
an intentional decision.
so let me
Exactly.
just share my story. I finished school in 2014. I went for NYC that same year, then finished my NYC in 2015. And while during my NYC program, I was just asking God for direction as to what I would do with my life. All right, what would you have me do? And it was so clear that my assignment is going to tilt towards equipping, the young ones, building lives, and all that. And the best place to start
Young
with is the
people.
educational sector.
Mhm.
So I knew what
Mhm.
I was going to do, although the picture wasn't clear as at that time. It wasn't clear, but I just knew that, oh, I am going into
Hmm.
the teens development space, starting with the educational sector. So I drew out a map, a
Sector.
10-year map that this is actually going to be crazy because number one, I'm the first graduate in my family. There are a lot of expectations. My parents are just happy that, oh,
Wow.
finally we have produced a
Mhm.
graduate who is going to get a
Mhm.
job and rescue the family and all that.
You
But
know, that's the joy of every parent. Mhm.
yes, but I already knew that, oh, I'm going to serve these people very hot breakfast. So on getting to Lagos 2016, no, 2015, at the end of 2015, I was strategizing and praying. And I drew out a map actually on the steps I'm going to take to rise to the top in that space. And I told myself, if this did not work in 10 years, I mean, I have age on my side, so I can dare things, I can do all of that. So I told myself, if this didn't work in 10 years,
So
then
you
I can
drew a
opt for
map on the steps you are going to
yes,
take. You were that
yes.
intentional.
Yeah, so there was a map. In
Go
fact,
ahead.
when we were staying in Agege, people that knew, few people knew where I was staying. There's a writing I put on my curtain. I wrote Dove University 2026. That is to mark, the space of 2016 to 2026. Like by then, I would have had certain things, I would have
Wow.
achieved certain things, I would have done certain. Yeah, it was that. I was that deliberate. I was that intentional. So 2015,
Intentional.
because I have a mentor in the financial industry, in the financial sector, and there was job offer. In fact, I did
Mhm.
what would take other people a year to do, the interview that would take them a year to do. I finished it in a day. All right. But at the
Yes.
last stage, I had to walk up to her to tell her that, excuse me, ma'am, I don't think I'm set out to do this. I have my plans, all right, and I
What?
explained what I want to do to her.
Right.
And
Wow.
she was quiet for about 5 to 10 minutes, and
Wow.
she was like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I said, "Yes." And she said, "Be ready to be poor
Uncle
because
Pe,
we're not
can
going
I
to pay
stop
for
you
you."
a bit?
All right, ma'am.
I need you to pause for a bit. And the reason
Okay,
why I
ma'am.
want to pause you is there's a young graduate out there now who is sounding like, hey, Uncle Kwa is making it sound so easy. How do I face my parents to tell them that, oh, I'm not going on that 9 to 5 search? I'm just going to start with collecting 50 naira from secondary school students as a lesson teacher. Like, you know how the teaching profession is not totally, you know, is not
Yes,
totally appreciated that much in this
appreciated
part of the
the
world,
world.
where
Yes, ma'am.
teachers are not so, they are starting to recognize their efforts in the life of their children. How on earth did mommy, to be
I'm going to
precise,
share.
how did
I'm going to
she
share all of
agree?
those.
What was that tussle? What was it like?
Yes. So actually, I
Because
have a
this is a
precedent.
crazy step. I can't imagine it. It's crazy.
So there's a precedent to that. They already knew
Go
that
ahead.
I don't just make decisions, that I am usually
Hmm.
sure about what I intend to do. All right. So I have shown
Decision. You
them
don't just make.
several ways that they can trust my
Mm-hmm,
decision.
mm-hmm,
So they know that it's not just because maybe I'm lazy or something. I got job offers with a financial institution. I
mm-hmm,
turn it down. I got a job
mm-hmm.
offer with a beverage making company. I turn it down. I got another job offer with a telecom service provider company. I turned everything down and I sat them down to have a meeting with them. All right, to tell them that
So
this
it
is what I
wasn't
want
as
to do.
though you were not getting job offers.
No, there were job
You were
offers. There were
getting
job
job
offers.
offers, but you
Yes, ma'am.
stood on what you are convinced about. You stood on your
Yes, yes.
conviction.
I stood on
And
my
you had it
convictions.
pasted at the top of your
Yes,
room.
at the top of my room. So I had a meeting with them. Yes, it was painful. My dad understood a little bit, but it was a tight one for him, but he just had to, let go. My mom didn't get it. She was like, oh, this is village
Can
people.
you imagine?
And she put me on a compulsory fast for a month. You know.
Wow.
That is because you are eating free food.
Oh,
That's why you
wow.
say you are not going to take
So
job
it's
if you
okay
do not
when
eat
some
food.
family members don't get it. And they don't get it at first. It's okay.
Yeah, it's
They
actually
can't see
okay.
what you're saying. That is why they are
Yes.
fighting your decision to take a stand based on what you are convinced about, on the calling that God has given to you. So if you are in that phase right now and your parents are saying, no, that's not what you're going to do, Uncle Kweto has faced it before. You need to have, you need to take a stand. You need to be known and be principled so that when these
Yes.
things happen, they don't
They
think you
don't
are
doubt you.
influenced negatively from outside. He
Yes.
said that his parents were already knew that he was principled. He doesn't make any decision, irrationally. It's something he must have thought about. What do they know you for at home? Go ahead, Uncle Kwe.
That's a big question. So at some point I was confused. I needed to walk to my spiritual father, Pastor David Adjoye, because he is a perfect example for what I set out to do. He pastors a church, a global church in the city of Agege, and being an architect, I was like, okay, so this is the best person to talk to about what I'm about to do. And I walked straight into his office. I remember that afternoon,
Right.
and
The best example.
I'm telling you.
Mhm,
And I
mhm.
told him all my plans. And in my mind, I was thinking, Pastor was going to scold me. Like something is wrong with your head. You can't get a job. I was ready for any form of scolding, but I was shocked. Pastor asked me, are you sure this is what you want to do? I said, yes. He asked me
Wow.
that question 3 times. Are you sure? Then he said, for the first
Are
three
you
to
sure
five
this is
years,
what you want
you're
to
going to,
do?
yes. He said, for the first 3 to 5 years, you're going to see your friend ride cars that you cannot afford to ride. You won't be able to afford the things that you desire to have. You won't be able to afford the kind of house you want to
Mm,
live in. Are you sure you're ready to go through that? I said,
mm.
all my life, I've been staying,
Wow.
in face my face
You
apartments with my
waiting
parents,
for
all those
delayed
things.
gratification.
I'm ready to let go. My own is, I am so sure that this desire, I didn't put it in my mind. Okay, I love good things too, but for this thing to be,
Mhm.
to be solid on my heart, this is what God wants me to do, and God does not owe any man. I am going to be rewarded, but the reward was not my focus. My focus was
Yes.
just to do what God has asked me to do, and I think that's better. Even if I die poor, I was that ready to live that life because I was not ready to impress anybody, by the way. All right. So I set
Wow.
out with Student
Wow.
Success Center in 2016 with free
You
lesson.
didn't start to
My
impress
young
anybody. Go on.
my younger
Mhm.
brother did a black and white flyer for us, free lesson. So we brought, all the touts in our
Wow.
neighborhood, all the bad boys come to lesson because we realized that they don't want to go to school. So we did free lesson, myself and my friend Idris back then,
Wow.
for 3 months. Young graduates. In fact, while we were doing free lesson, we got another job offer with the local government because he has connection with the local government, but we turned it down. We're like, this is what we do. We just want to make a change. We just want to make positive impact in the life of young ones. And people just felt we were crazy. And that was where Uncle Pe came from. So Uncle Pe was actually a form of mockery. Like, this is somebody that we were expecting to get a job, but now he's not a teacher. So when
Mm.
I'm passing, they'll be like, Uncle. And I
So
literally
the,
saw,
the name that is now a brand,
yes,
the
was
name
from
that is now a brand was the name they were using to tease you. All the
yes,
secondary school pupils would call you Onkokpe, Onkokpe, because I remember we called our teachers auntie, uncle.
yes,
So the
yes.
Onkokpe is like, oh my God, come on
Yes,
now.
it was
Wow.
from
I can see
people
a lot of
teasing me.
comments. I know people are really excited about what you're saying. Amazing.
Yes. So in the space
Go
of
ahead.
3 months when we were doing the free lesson, because of the fact that I didn't go into it for the financial gain. So beyond what we were teaching them, I was more interested in their personal life. So I will engage them after class, what is going on, and I'll give them advice. And every night I'll come to Facebook after collecting money, 100 naira from my mom to subscribe on my phone. I'll come to Facebook to type my conversation with my teenagers, and I'll use dear teenager, all right, to put all those things. And people were liking it. People were like, oh, this makes sense, this makes sense, this makes sense, this makes sense. And that was how it started. So we moved from free lesson to 15 naira per day as a graduate with job offers. Okay. We moved to 15 naira per day.
Wow.
Then after like 6 months, I remember Pastor sponsored fly 1,000 copies of flyers for us. So we moved up to collecting 1,500 naira per month. Then my major breakthrough came when I had a private lesson to teach 3 children for 3,500 naira per month. I would teach them from Monday to Sunday. And this is no jokes. I'm talking about 2016, just some year down the line. All right. And the Ogbonge that you see today, we teach 3 children from Monday to Sunday with 3,500 naira as salary for a month. And that was a major breakthrough for me because with that money, I stopped collecting 100 naira, 200 naira from my mom. I stopped facing certain needs so that shebi you are a graduate, go and look for a job. You got job, you say you are not doing, now you are collecting money from us. That was a breakthrough for me. And guess what? I ensure that, in fact, most people that know me may find this
Mhm.
unbelievable because I never portray myself to lack anything, all right, because I knew what I was doing. So I never pitied myself
Mm.
that, oh, what kind of life are you living? Yes, it was not easy, but I had prepped up myself that this road
You
we
never
want
beat
to.
it yourself.
Yes, I never pitied myself, all right. I knew what I was up against. I knew there are days that it is just Gary that I'm going to, eat. It is just rice that I'm going to eat. And thank God I'm not
Hmm.
somebody that wants to. So I
Mhm.
can go days
Mhm.
eating rice without
Mhm.
meat and all that. Who cares? They will not write it on my face. All right. So then people like you, my mentor, saw what I was doing with children in Agege, and she was like,
So
if you
you
can be
paid the
doing this,
price. You paid the
yes, I
price,
paid the
just like
price.
Pastor David Adioye said. You may not be able to afford the kind of cars your mates are riding at that time. You may not
Yes.
be able to live in the houses that they are living at that time because of the decision you have taken. The reward may not be swift, but it will definitely come. You also highlighted
Definitely.
that he said, are you sure you are willing to do this for a 5 year tenure? Hmm. Wow.
Yes.
Go
Yes.
ahead.
Then, people started noticing what I was doing in Agege because everything that I do, I put it on social media. Because yes, I'm working locally, but I still have a global mindset. Even
Mhm.
if I didn't get it right, I was ready to put it there raw, with blurry pictures,
Wow.
whatever it is, I'll just put it there. Because I have this
Wow.
mindset that value does not need visa. All right. Ronaldo has never been to Nigeria, but most people in
Mm,
Nigeria knows about
come on
Ronaldo.
now.
So once you
Value
have
does not
value,
need visa.
yes, ma'am. So your
Position
value is
your
your
solution
critical
for
platform.
visibility.
Yes. Your value is your critical platform for
That's it.
global exchange.
Hmm.
So once you have a value that you can offer, you will call
Yes,
attention from anywhere in the world. So with the resources I have
that's
available
it.
with me at that
Mhm.
time, I was putting my content on social media.
Yes.
People started seeing what I was doing. And
Right.
I started getting premium clients. So I moved from 3,500 naira in a month to earning 20,000 naira in a month. And that 20,000 naira in a month was a big deal
Mm.
for me. You need to see the way I danced when I collected my first salary.
Yeah, that's a
From
big
there,
deal.
I started, moving up. Then I know that there's power in transformation.
Mm.
All right. One of the mistakes that people make is you are expecting God to do something, but God is waiting for you to move. The wonders of the Lord are for those that step into deep waters.
Move.
Stop hiding your laziness under the fact that you are waiting
That's
for
it.
God. No,
That's it.
God has gone ahead. He has finished the work. You need to move.
Stop
God, when
hiding
the children of Israel
laziness. God
were
is waiting for you
facing
to move.
sweat, all right, you would have
Stop
expected
hiding
that God
under
would
the
have.
guise of laziness. Mhm.
Yes, you would have expected that, God would inform Moses to step back. But God told Moses, go forward. All right. Look at David. He charged against Goliath. Look at the four lepers in the Bible.
Yes.
All right. They told
Mhm.
themselves that if we wait here, we're going to die. If
Mhm.
we go to that camp, we are going
That's
to
it.
die. Let us move forward. Let us go. All right. That's how life is,
Mhm.
because life itself is a risk. You're not taking a risk in yourself, it
Mhm.
is a risk. So why not just make progress? Why not just
Mhm.
move? The Bible says that whatsoever your
Mhm.
hands find to do,
Yes.
do it. That's the basic principle. Stop saying you are waiting, you are fasting.
Do
God is always
it.
speaking. You are the one that have the issues
Mm.
of listening, because God is speaking 247. All right. So I moved. All right. And I started
Mm.
projecting from 20,000 naira to 40,000 naira, from 40,000 naira to 50 to 60 to what it is today. Now, this is what I did, because I didn't have a background in education. So I started saving up from those little money, from those 3,500 naira, 20,000 for. I was able to save money to go for my postgraduate diploma in education in University of Lagos. All right. I have my
Yes.
certificate in that field, because you cannot solve a problem
Come
that you
on.
do not understand.
Wow.
If I say I am sent to solve a problem in the educational sector,
But
developing
you do
young
not
people, I don't
understand.
understand the problems that we are faced with in Nigeria
And you need
education
to
sector.
understand the terrain. Yes.
Yes, I
Yes.
need to
Yes.
understand the territory. I did that for
Yes.
a year, although Nigerian
Oh my
factor
God. I'm
went
hearing
on to
so
2
many
years.
messages. People are enjoying this session with you. Go ahead.
Yes. So
Wow.
I
Hmm.
did
This
that
is
for
amazing.
a year program turned to 2 years because of Nigerian factor. But I finished that and I made solid connections, in that program. And that made me have a better view. So I knew that if I really want to help teenagers, it's not
Mhm.
just teaching them mathematics, English, physics. No, the world has gone past that. I am interested in their personal transformation.
Mm.
So I took more interest in
Mhm.
counseling,
Mhm.
in psychology, and in spirituality. So my spiritual life was,
Mm.
prompt and all that. Now, guess what? This is the price I had to pay. I couldn't plan my life because there was no money to plan my life with. All right. So it affected my relationship, because who wants to settle down with a man that the only thing he's thinking about is teenagers? I'm just building my life. All right.
Teenagers.
And it was okay. Yeah, it was painful, but I knew that this is part of the price I need to pay. All right, to get to that
Wow.
destination that God has set for me. All right. So I was moving, and guess what?
Man.
I didn't go about
Yeah.
begging for money. All right. I didn't go
So
about.
while you were building teenagers, you were also investing into yourself.
Yes,
You
that is
were
important.
delaying the gratification, although you were making money, but you were using that money to build yourself. You
Yes.
understood that you needed to take more certifications in order to be able to be a higher flyer in this
Yes.
field.
Yes.
Because there's somebody listening and wondering, how did you get there? Because some people stop at the point of when they start making good money. They just feel, oh,
No.
I have arrived, and they
No.
settle. And that's not the
No.
heights God is set to take them yet. They still
Yes.
need to do more, because I believe there is still more that many can achieve if only we, position for visibility, yes, but also ensure that you are not the same. There's a saying that I usually drop out there and say that you are only as good as your last training. So
Yes,
the
ma'am.
more you become knowledgeable in your field, the more you climb the ladder to be a higher flyer in that field.
Yes, ma'am.
Nkokwe, you now have over 10,000 teenagers and their parents within your circle. How
Yes, ma'am.
did you get there? From 50-50
Talking
naira,
about
Nkokwe?
talking about transformation,
Wow.
and
How
I'll
did you
give
attract global
that
clients?
that that is where I'm going to, and I'll give a scenario. You see, problems will never change. You are the one that will change. So what we call problem is actually a fixed situation.
Mm,
So to overcome it,
that's
you
it.
need to go beyond the problem. And before I now I'm no longer in Nigeria. Before leaving Nigeria, there's one of my uncle's property that when we were younger, it used to be very big. In fact, we run marathon race in that property. All right. So before I left Nigeria, I went to visit him, and that place looked smaller. All right. And the Holy Spirit told me that the place did not shrink. You grew beyond the place. You've seen bigger places, you've seen bigger auditoriums. And I was like, wow, this is profound. So when we are faced with challenges, all right, the challenge is actually a fixed thing. But you need to invest into yourself. You need to become a bigger person so that that challenge is now infinitesimally inconsequential to your growth. All right. So you are the one that will grow, you are the one that will be transformed, then you move over it. That's how it works.
Ha,
So I
ba,
was
ba, ba.
committed to
Sorry, you're going to
personal
make me speak in
development.
tongues on this stream.
So
Woo!
I invest in personal development. I'll buy books. I will go for trainings. I'll go for meetings. The fact that I was operating in Agege, I have my eyes in US. I have my eyes in UK. I have my eyes in Lekki. So I will always go to Lekki for weekends to visit my friend in Lekki to see how things work, because what you see determine what you seize. What you see determine what you seize. If you don't see it, you can't handle it. All right. So I was always going
What
there,
you see,
engaging with
what you
children.
see.
Yes.
That's
So
it.
I will engage children, on that other side, because I'm used to Agege children, but I know that I'm not going to end there. There's more, And I was always, one
Yes.
of the things that changed me was a day in your office. And this is the power of mentorship. I cannot say anything without talking about mentorship. And you asked me that day, that was still when I was collecting 20,000 naira per month. And you asked, Uncle Pa, are you making money? In my mind, because 20,000 naira was a big deal. I was coming from 15 naira. And I'm not making 20. And you asked me, Uncle Pa, are you making money? And I told you yes.
I remember
And
that
you
meeting.
asked, and you asked me, have you cost your recharge card, transport fare, this and this and this and that? And I was like, really, 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 I'm not making money.
Excitement.
All right. And you paid
I
a
remember
bigger
Uncle Kwa telling me,
perspective.
yes, he's making money when I asked him because he was making 20,000 naira per
I
month.
was making 20,000 naira per month.
Oh my
And
God. I hope
you
Uncle
now
Kwa is
told, you
still on
shared,
this stream. Oh
I'm
my,
still
if
on
you're
this stream.
learning, please drop a comment in the comment section. I see all your comments.
Hello, ma'am. Are you there? Are you there, ma? Wow. Network. Hello. Whew.
Wow. I hope you can see. I think on my stream I can't find Uncle Kwe. Okay, he's back.
I can
Thank
see
you
you. I
all so
didn't go
much for joining on
anywhere.
Instagram. I can see you. I acknowledge you. What you see determines what you seize.
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly.
Can you see me, ma'am? Hello,
Uncle
ma'am. Can
Kwe,
you see
yes, go
me?
ahead.
All right. So, I was always going to Lekki to, see the way they do things there. And I'll tell myself very soon they will look for me here. And mind
Wow.
you, from doing a PGDE, I saved up money for a
Please,
master's program.
I can't really hear Uncle Kwe, but I'm sure that
Wow.
the people the
Wow.
people on
All right. I think it's better now. I can see you now. You were off for a while. Hello, ma. Wow, 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 wow.
it's
Can you
so
see me,
nice
ma?
to have you back.
Yes, I can see you now.
I can hear you. Yes, I
All right.
can.
So I saved up money to go for a master's program. I did my master's in guidance and counseling. Since I was already in that space, I have moved my business from just a mathematics teacher or a chemistry teacher or a school teacher to a counselor, meaning I'm now providing solutions to teenagers, because I realized that teenagers and parents were not getting it right. A lot of parents were having headache with raising their teenager, and I see that, oh, the kind of problem you solve determine the kind of reward you receive, right? So for me to get a bigger reward, I need to step up
Mm-hmm.
my game. I need to raise the bar. So I joined different associations, Teen Mentors Network Africa. I was connecting with people, and guess what? Value will always attract value. So people with value were seeing what I was doing, with little resources, and they were
Mm.
reaching out to me.
Value
All right,
attracts value.
yes, they were reaching out to me.
Mm.
Let's partner, let's do this together. So I was doing all of those things even for free. All right, because I needed to build my CV. I needed to, before David could kill
Mm.
Goliath, he had to kill the lion, he had to kill the bear. All right, so I needed to build my CV. I needed to
Exactly.
solve a lot
Mm.
of problems free of charge. So I would do programs, I'll go for
Mm.
programs, they will not
Free.
pay me, they will even give me five alive. That was not my goal because I knew that that was a phase to build my CV. All right. So when I'm talking to you and I told you that I've done this, I've done that, I've done that, you will know that I know what I'm talking about. All right. So I scaled. I did my masters,
Mm.
and before I finished my
Done
masters,
free. Free of free. Mm-hmm.
you know, I started gaining attraction. People started knowing me. I remember going for speaking alongside some great minds like the
Mm-hmm.
late Dr. Bon King. And he saw what I've done in Agege, and he said, if you can do this in Agege, you can do this anywhere in the world. And from we started
Anywhere.
teens
Yes.
hangout in 2017 with 102 teenagers. In 2018, we had 300 teenagers, and Pastor said, you're already taking over this space. And from there, in 2018, we moved to hosting 300 people in 2018. We now host 1,580 teenagers in 2019, such that during the program, we had to be
More.
excluding some teenagers
Wow.
to go back home, especially teenagers that came from Ibadan and Abeokuta. We have to tell
Mm.
them that, you know what,
The
you need to
overflow.
leave the program because we have some
Mm-hmm.
people outside that need to come into the hall. All right, that it was a very crazy experience,
Come
and I
in.
knew that
Yes.
I need to take myself more serious. I need to invest more into myself because it seems that
Mm-hmm.
I am beginning to create
Yes.
some form of attraction. All right, some form of attention. I'm beginning to get people's attention. They
Mm.
now know that, oh, there's somebody who have the solutions to our teenagers. And from there, I
There's
was
something.
focused. I was
Mm.
faced with teenagers alone. So I decided to transform again. Guess what? The key here is the principle of transformation, the principle of change. Life is like an elastic rubber. When you stretch it, it will
Mm-hmm.
not come back to its original state. So I started to stretch myself. So beyond reaching out to
Mm.
teenagers, I was reaching out to their parents. All right, because I know that teenagers are my consumers and their
Mm.
parents are my clients. Teenagers cannot pay me the kind of money that I have seen that I'm going to earn in 10 years. So I needed to start working with their parents. So
You
I
said
started
something
equipping
very profound.
myself.
You said stretch.
Yes, ma'am.
Equip yourself. Stretch.
Equip myself,
Yes. Go
yes.
ahead.
So when people are sleeping at night, I'm online reading books. I know where to get certain books at cheap price. I know where to get certain books for free. I learned how to exchange books with some friends. So I read this for a month, you read that, we exchange. I was always equipping myself. So when I'm talking, I don't need to look at anything. I'm just, if you press me like this, it's content that is coming out. All right. So because
You have filled. You have filled your knowledge bank. So you
yes,
have to spill. You have to spill what you have filled inside. I
yes,
mean,
ma'am.
that's only natural. Go ahead, Uncle Kwe. We are really
So
enjoying this session.
I
Everyone
I
say amen,
ensure
please.
that, because one of the things I told myself that if you are to mention three people in my field, you mention my name, and it does not come by just
Mm.
mere wishing
Just
or just positive
confession.
confession.
Doesn't
You
come by
have
just
to do the
confessing.
work. You
You have
have
to
to
do
do
the
the
work.
work. There was a time
Mm-hmm.
my dad was concerned about me because I was going through certain disappointments in a particular area of my life. And it was like, you don't look bothered at all. I remember one of those days when I faced a particular challenge. Before giving them the news, I'd asked them to pound jam for me. I'd asked them to
Mm.
cook better food. And after eating it, I told them what I just faced. It was so bad that my dad had to go to the toilet to poo because it was a
Mm.
crazy news. And me that the thing happened to, I looked so unbothered.
You're
Yes,
not
I had
bothered.
tried. Yes, I had dealt with all the depression that I needed to deal with, but I won't do that in the public. All right, I do
Yeah.
that in my private recess. Then I come back bold, courageous, and brave to face the thing head
Can you
on.
let us into some of the things that saw you through that depressed moment? Because
So
someone is in that shoe right now. They are not making it as fast as they think they would have made it, and is making them have a rethink that am I taking
am I doing the
the
right
right
thing?
step in the right direction? I mean, they are having this kind of regrets. and it's not supposed to be. What are the things you did? Was it prayer? Was it meditation? Was it counsel? What were the things that helped you through that season? Like briefly, maybe in 1 minute.
Number one, know your convictions. Okay, what were those things that you saw before starting out? Number two,
Mm,
ensure that you're well informed about your field. All right, who are the top three people that have done what you're doing right now and they have excelled? Those are the people you want to focus on. All right, those are the people you want to stay on their Instagram page. You want to turn on their live notification. You want to book an appointment to see them. You want to read about them. One of those things I did was anytime I was facing a disappointment, I just tell myself, look at Pastor David Adio. Do you think it is easy to raise an excellent church in Agege? If you can do that in Agege, I can do that. Or I look at First
as an
Lady.
architect.
So I
Mm,
was always, I deliberately ensured that I got into their inner circle such that there's no day. This is person that
mm.
I'm talking to. At least in a week, I will see them minimum of 4 times in a week. It was deliberate because I needed what
Yes.
you. There's power in what you see.
Mm,
So seeing them, I am encouraged that these people are not doing bad. These people are doing well. If they can get here, it's just a matter of time. Because you can actually be
and
in
you
a field
bless
where
them
nobody
too.
has made that breakthrough. So you need to check it. All right. So who are those people making the wave in your field? Study them. What is their routine like? What are they doing? What are they eating? If you walk the path an elephant has treaded, you're going to become an elephant. If you eat what an elephant has eaten, you're
That's
going to
it.
become an elephant too. So you
Come
need to
on.
study them. All right, make them
Mhm.
your university. Okay, you don't want to
Hmm.
imagine how I studied Pastor Adeoye, how I studied First Lady. I studied them as
Eh, I'm gonna
mentors.
be dropping the bars.
But I want to go and shout, I am studying you. No, you have to be smart. You must have sense. Okay,
Be
study those people.
smart.
And aside from doing that, I cannot overemphasize the place of prayer. You always go back to the person that has called you into it. What do I need to do? Because prayer is dialogue. So you need to ask for strategies. So there are certain things that I
Hmm.
did. I didn't read them from any book. I got that inspiration in the place of prayer. All right, Lord, what is the next step to take? What do I need to do? You know, and Dear Teenager, that is how we birthed Dear Teenager. Dear Teenager that was from a Facebook
Yeah.
post. Everything in the book were my Facebook posts in 2016, 2017. So when I
Wow.
wanted to write a book, I
Wow.
had written a book on purpose, and I went to God in prayer that should I release the book after finishing it, and he said no, go back to where you started from, copy all those posts, amplify it, and release them as a book. And I didn't need to stress myself because I had, in the process of me fulfilling my own dream, I had invested in people too. So I just called a friend, okay, go to my post, copy everything, bring it out, the ones that touch you most. And they brought out like 12. I engaged other
Hmm.
professionals. I started leveraging on other people's strength because I see myself that some people are better in writing. So I
Hmm.
engaged an editor, and Jet in is what it is
Yes.
today. We sold out in the week that we launched that book.
Wow.
And guess what? Let me quickly say this. When I wrote Jet Ninja, when we were advertising Jet
Please.
Ninja, do you know that the money to publish that book was not
I
ready?
know.
I did not have that money.
I
So if you are
know.
waiting to have a
Yes,
big
I
money
know.
before you start, you will wait till you die. Trust me. You will wait for because nobody will give you free money. Nobody.
Just don't wait. Keep
Don't wait.
taking the
I feel
giant
your
step.
concern. I wish my publisher is on this stream. She will testify. A week to launching of the book was not ready.
Yeah.
And she was like, Uncle, Papa, what are we going to do? So I just immediately I went to my pastor's page. I realized that he did a video for his soon to be released book. So I called the person that did that video for him. Can you help me do a video of my book? All right. Okay, I had small money, so I paid him. He did that video, and I told my publisher that
Mm-hmm.
if I don't have the money to release that book, I'm going to play this video for everybody on that day. We had sent out invitations. We had made noise on social media. I'm going to play this video on that day and tell the people that
Oh
this
my
is the
God.
book.
Yeah.
All right, you
Yeah.
people give us money. We'll publish the money that we make on that day is the money that we use to publish the book. And guess what? Because I have been solving problems for people, it was time for reward. One of my clients, all right, who saw what I was doing,
Mm.
she just asked me, Uncle Ben, what is the update as regards what you were doing? And I was plain. I said, the book is not ready, but we are going to launch it. And she said something. She said, "You have solved our problem by raising our
Mm-hmm.
child. We are going to reward you." And that's how I got the money to publish the book. My profits, I made it
Yeah.
like that. Ogala. I made it just like that
Like
without
that.
stressing myself. In the middle of that,
I want you to say
I
that phrase again. I made it just like
just
that.
like
Come
that.
on.
And if you think that just like that is just like
That's
that, you
it.
are wrong. That just like that where
It's not just
uh,
like that.
compilation of years of pains, years of tears, years of people thinking you are mad. My friends, in fact, before leaving
Mm.
Nigeria, one of my friends told me that, "Opa, do you know that
And
I
people
thought you were
mocking
crazy?"
you.
My friends felt I was crazy, but they didn't want to tell me because they don't want to offend me. They were like, "When you started out, I personally felt you were crazy." I said, "I know I was crazy, all right." And as if God had piled up all those rewards. That was last year, right? What am I talking about? Yeah,
Mhm.
last year, 2021. I launched Dear Teenager, sold out.
Your
The
team members are showing up for you. They are telling you that yes, we know the behind the scenes before
yes.
publishing the book.
Then the
Oh my
second thing that
God.
happened was
Wow, this
I
is
knew
so
that
good.
it was time to move to the global stage. Yes, I had built my profile on the local stage. Like I told you, if you don't change, nothing will change.
Mm.
All right. My own primary assignment or my primary policy is always change, always be on the move. Because when you move, that's when things will move. Right. So I knew it was time for the global stage. But I didn't have the money. All right. I didn't have the money to, put
Mm.
myself on the global level to move outside the country, but I had faith, and that was enough. So I started talking to people, I started talking to my friends outside. A lot of them discouraged me. You're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. But I persisted. I knew that it was the time. And guess what? That's
Mhm.
how I landed on an opportunity. They asked me for what I've been doing so far. And I had records of everything we do in Teens Hangout, everything. And in the space of doing Teens
Record.
Hangout, we
It
had
is
launched
so
a leadership
important to
institute.
keep record.
You keep record, you document everything. And that's how I got myself here in the United States of America
Yes.
for the first time applying to travel out. I was not denied of my visa. I didn't spend any dime. I just moved out of the country like a king. All right. I just moved out
Just
like
by
a king
doing what you are called to do.
to do. All right. So people,
How many years did it take from that risk to reward?
7 years, 7 years, because every 2016 to 2022, that's 7 years.
7 years.
Yes, but it wasn't easy.
Wow.
There are
Seven
days
years
that
of patience, 7 years of tolerance, 7 years of resilience.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 7 years.
Wow.
And guess what? I did not do beyond myself. So I wouldn't buy things that I cannot afford. In these 7 years, as Uncle that everybody knows, I was staying in Agege. I was staying in
Mm-hmm.
a face apartment in Agege. And if people say they want to come to my house, you don't have to know my house. If you want to see me, let's go meet in a restaurant. Okay. So people don't know where I was staying because where I'm
Mm.
staying does not define who I am. All right. I knew that it was just a temporary phase. And I moved out from Agege when I went to change my apartment.
That's it.
Could have, I didn't get that. Hello, ma'am. Are you there?
I said, wow, 7 years of building life. Yes, I'm
Yes.
here.
So I moved out from Agege. You would have felt that I'll get a better apartment. I'll stay in three-bedroom flat. But I told myself, what is the essence of killing myself to pay out rent? Then I'll now be looking for. So I got another small apartment outside of Agege, very very small. You wouldn't even believe. I'm going to release the pictures very soon. You wouldn't even believe that that is where Uncle West stays. But I knew that no, this is just a phase. Okay, I don't want to beg anybody for money. I'll not be begging people. I want to pay house
This
rent.
is
Look
just a
irresponsible. No, I am not to be pitied. So I don't need to create a pity party. I know where I'm headed for. Yes, people doubted me.
people
So I didn't.
need to understand. People need to understand the faces. They need to
Yes,
understand that there's a face, that there are
there is
phases you would get to, and how to navigate each stage, and each phase matters to what you get in the next phase.
first thing
You
is
know,
you
do
won't.
pass yourself. And
Perfectly.
that's,
You
you
wouldn't
see, there's
believe this.
power in these things that you're sharing.
Yes, ma'am. You
A
won't
lot of
believe this.
people, because
There
of
are
the
days that
rat
I'll
race of
get from
social
my
media,
house.
they want to look like what they are not.
Yes, ma'am. There are days that I'll trek from my house to church. I'll get to the
Hmm.
security post and dust my shoes, dust my shirt, and I'll come clean to church. And nobody knows. Nobody. I don't need to tell you. No, but the people that I know are my friends. Osas, Tunde, I can mention names. There's no shortcuts between Ikeja and Agege that I don't know. I will show them, and they were like, "How did you know? Are they waka? Are they trek?" But I
Wow.
knew that it was just for a phase. It was just, in fact, some few
Wow.
weeks before leaving, because I do share
For
my
a
story with my
while.
people. It's for a while. Nino was telling me that,
Hmm?
uncle, I remember when you take keke from your house to come to our house. That's tricycle. And I was humbled. I was humbled that there was a time. Now I can use cab, I can, do all of those things. It's just for a while. So be deliberate. Now I am operating from the United States of America. All
Uber.
right. I'm
Yeah.
reaching the world. Now people now have access to my book from different parts of the world. All right. A church just took my book as a manual for their youth church. They took my book as a manual for their, not in Nigeria, in US. This is a book I wrote in one corner in Agege. Now they are using that book as
Yes.
a manual for their youth church here in the United States of America. All right. So I'm saying this to people that are, you are thinking that, have I made a mistake? Yes, those moments came to my mind. Are you sure? Write those things. There's power in journaling. Write those things down. All right. I had written my vision down to the
Hmm.
point that
Write
it's now
it
part
down.
of me. It's not part of me. I see it when I close my eyes and all that. Like I had to eat it. It is, you cannot talk me out of it. You are, so people who will talk me out of it, I stop talking to them because I know they will talk
Hmm.
me out of it. So I don't have issues with you, but I will not share my,
Hmm.
even when I was planning
Hmm.
to take that step out, because there is power in
Those
association.
who walk with the wise shall be wise. The company of fools shall be destroyed.
Yes, ma'am. So when you have a vision, look at it from the
There
perspective
is
of
power in
being
association.
pregnant. All right. Look at it from the perspective of you being pregnant. And when you are pregnant, you need to be
Hmm.
conscious of contraceptives. What are contraceptives? People that are contrary to your divine conceptions.
Yes.
They are going to kill that baby. Stay away from them. So I identify such people. So if you want to
Hmm.
talk me down, the last time you talked me down was the last time I will give you access to talk me down. I have the right and control over my space. So I am the one that determines people that come into my space. So when you don't believe in me, that's your own kettle of fish. I believe so much in myself to doubt myself, right? So I was deliberate
Hmm.
about my circle. I
Mhm.
only talk to people that feed my
Wow,
faith.
Uncle Kwe,
I
you have
only talk
said
to
so
friends.
much tonight. I would want us to, yes, I said I would want us to um, allow for questions before we
All right,
close this stream in the next 2 minutes.
okay, ma'am.
I know that there is an undergraduate out there, ASU is on strike in Nigeria, or a graduate that is probably that has relocated or is doing some sort of certification right now and trying to navigate through new terrain. What advice do you have for them? What is going to
Number one.
sustain them during this phase of their life?
Number one.
You just said that stay away from contraceptives. If you are
Yes,
pregnant
ma'am.
with an idea, you're pregnant with a purpose, stay away from contraceptives. And contraceptives are like people who talk you down, people who
Yes.
do
They are
not believe in the
contrary to your
dream, because
conceptions.
the company
Yes.
of fools like them will be destroyed. What else? What else can keep them, and what kind of risk can they just do?
Number one, be real with yourself. All right. You only have one life to live. Live it to the maximum. All right. Be real with yourself. This life, you are not here to rehearse. So ask yourself, what is that thing that I will do? And I'll go back to bed
Hmm.
feeling fulfilled. Pour all your energy into it. See, even unbelievers, they put it like this, that if you put your energy into it, they say it like the universe will reward you. No, it's the law of seed time, and harvest. Every deed is a seed. So you sow the seed of
And
diligence.
harvest.
Sweat down a man diligent in his business. He shall not stand before mere men. He shall stand with kings. And you can even move from standing in front of kings to becoming the king.
Before kings.
You are not just going to stand before king. You can move from standing before king to become
Kabayata.
yourself. All right, that's another perspective. So know exactly what you want. You see, you can look stupid to people, but don't look stupid to yourself. Everyone
Right.
can doubt, but don't doubt yourself. I've been in places whereby people think I'm stupid. People have conversations and I'm just quiet, but I know what I want. All right, I know what I am doing. If there's anybody watching this and you think there was a time this guy doesn't, it's a lie. I know what I want. But I just have to keep quiet because that's not my time for unveiling. I know that time is coming when I will open my mouth and you will listen. Be diligent. You are going for a certification. Pour your energy into it. You will not die. Ubon King told me, hard work no dey kill person. Put yourself into it. Bury yourself. You will see the reward because there's a law called the law of seed. You wait for some time and you have the harvest. And guess what? The seed time is usually smaller than the harvest. When the harvest will come, you'll be asking yourself, what have I done to deserve this? With this viewpoint of mine, I hope I've been able to convince and not to confuse you.
So what
That
should we expect
bad
from the
relation.
stable of Onkokwe this year going forward?
All
What
right,
should we
so
expect
this
from you,
year,
Onkokwe?
I am still growing my roots downwards. Yes, I have a couple of books that I can release, but I want to grow roots downwards. I am switching from levels to level. I'm switching to a PhD. I just have to put it out there. So I believe that when I get to that level, okay, I would have commanded enough authority. I would have become an authority in my field, so that when I speak, when I release my next book, 24 hours, everybody don't buy am.
Hold
Yes.
on, come on. If you have enjoyed this stream, it is brought to you by powered by the Inspiring Change Tribe that Onkokwe is also a VIP part of. You're very, very important to us, and your success story is such an inspiration to many people. If you have been blessed by Onkokwe, please help me celebrate him in the comment section. Celebrate the Onkokwe in the comment section. Shout out, let us know, celebrate him, celebrate him. Thank you so much, Onkokwe, for investing this almost an hour of your time to impact all our listeners and, of course, those who are streaming live. We're going to
It's a
be
real
doing
privilege,
this
sir.
more often every Monday, every month. Look out for Risk to Reward series with Sumbo Adirye. My guest tonight is the foremost teens coach and author of Dear Teenagers. His name is Opeyemi Ogunyomi, popularly known as the Uncle Ope. Follow him on social media. If you have teenagers, if you're a mom to be, dad to be, please follow him because he's always having one or two things to share that will inspire your children that are here and those to come. God bless you so much, Uncle Kwe. We're all so excited. We're happy to have you at this Risk to Reward series, and we wish you all the very best going
Thank you, ma'am.
forward. Thank you all for celebrating
Thank you,
Uncle
ma'am.
with me. Thank you all so much for joining this stream. I'd like to acknowledge Adora all the way from Canada. I acknowledge Bukola from Lagos, Folakemi from Lagos. Thank you all so much. If I didn't mention your name, shout out to you. But I see all the comments, and Uncle has been such a blessing to us. See you by 8 p.m. West African time next week, Monday. Bye bye, Uncle. Thank you so
Bye bye.
much
Thank you.
for joining us. My name is Sumbo Aduri, and I'm your host tonight. If you'd like to join the Inspiring Change Tribe, you can email us at inspiringchangeinitiative@gmail.com, or you call the number that is scrolling on your screen. Do have a pleasant day. Bye.